So I think after a year of buying the land, we started the process of construction, and so we had to keep going there. So we used to go there like every 2 months, every 3 months, and every time I went there, everybody there knew I'm a doctor, and I was working in Delhi at that time. So I started getting feelers from the community, and even the local, the local guy Lalit, who you've met before, he would keep because he was also helping us in the construction of the house. So he would keep saying that, ma'am, people in the village are saying if a doctor is building a house here, why doesn't she start something for us here? There are no services. And actually, when I did a little bit of my own research, the closest service for that village, Deolikhan, is either Ranikhet Civil Hospital or Almora. So that's about an hour and a half. So as a result of which, what happens is that people don't go to hospitals to seek healthcare services. So Lalit kept telling me you should start a clinic here, and I kept saying no, that's not a good idea. That's not. So I kept resisting it, and as my parents have said, I have always resisted things right from the beginning. So I said no, I'm happy doing my work in Delhi. Who wants to make this change? And it's like a huge change for me. And anyway, I hadn't done clinical work for a good amount of time, 20 years, because I was doing public health work. You know how there are triggers that keep coming and they enter your subconscious mind and they keep coming up. The architects who were building a house at that point of time, we have the outhouse where the clinic is now. They started calling it a dispensary for some reason. And I didn't know why, but they said dispensary, and that was a storage room actually. All the lakdi, sand, everything used to be stored there for the construction of the house. And they kept saying dispensary, dispensary. So, that kind of became a trigger in my subconscious, and that's that. So after a lot of going back and forth, I said, okay, let's just start the clinic. And anyway, I wanted to do this. So 2018 November, that is how the clinic happened. How the name Lakshmi Clinic came was that I said, okay, so what am I going to call? Nisha Clinic, what clinic? I mean, there was a discussion about what the name is going to be, nursing home, or just a clinic, ya Hindi mein kuch naam. Then I said, why don't I just call it after my mother? Because my mother, she's always been a source of great inspiration for me in terms of, my parents, my dad and my mom are very different people. Ever since my growing up years, I remember any issue I had, any emotional problem I had, she was my anchor, she was my support. Dad was my professional support, like, you have to do this, you have to go out, and he was like, go and drive yourself and go and get there. And you know that medicine padhai is not easy. The mental health issues I used to discuss with my mother, and so she has always, even now, she's like this pillar of support for me, the calmness that she brings to my life.
तो इसको करते रहती हूँ। मैं क्या जितना भी अगर कोई हेल्प कर सबकी जितना कर सकते हो हेल्प करो। अगर कोई पेशेंट नहीं भी दे पाता कोई बात नहीं है, तुम अपनी तरफ से दे दो उसको। उसका अगर मान लिया तुम्हारे 5 रुपए की दवाई है तो वो आशीर्वाद कितना देगा तुम।
यहाँ ये इसने कहा प्रेमा ने, ये मेरी बहू है, आशा कार्यकर्ता है सल्ला की, तो इसने बोला कि वहाँ कैंप आने वाला है, साथ ही आओ जाना।
अब इनके यहाँ रहने से सारे गांव वालों को सुविधा है, क्योंकि जब भी मैम आते सबको दवा हवा देते हैं और काफ़ी बदलाव है पहले से।
One of the things I decided in 2022 was कि हम लोग भारत में वर्क थी आशा वर्कर्स, और आशास का मेरा बहुत एक्सपीरियंस था because in my development work I've been working a lot with the ashas. I had done trainings with them, and in Delhi with the ministry I was involved in developing their guidelines, their training materials, their technical protocols, and their modules, etc. So I thought, why don't we involve the ashas of the neighboring villages here and work through them and do health camps in their villages. So I shared this idea with Lalit, and he did his little bit of finding out, and he got the names of 8 ashas in the neighborhood. One was of course Deolikhan. So I now typically spend 1 month in the hills and 1 month in Delhi. So every alternate month we would have a camp. So that was decided, and that's how it began. My engagement or involvement with the Asha worker. So we are sitting in August of 22. After the meeting in Jan, we had a wonderful camp in February in Bashar. Um, Great response, overwhelming response. In March, end of March, we had one in Deolikhan in the primary school. Again, very, very well received by people, because I think when the Ashas do prachar, when the Ashas do IC as against Lalit doing IC, I think the constraint Lalit has is that he can't reach out to women the way Ashas can reach out to the women. So this model, I really like this model because for me it's a blend of public health as well as clinical work. And since my expertise is in both the areas, I like the way that this is working itself out. I had met Ashas, of course, a lot earlier, and I always knew that they're very, very motivated and very empowered women, I think.
आसमां के नीचे हम आज अपने पीछे प्यार का जहां बसा के चले कदम के निशान बना के चले
तुम चले तो फूल जैसे आंचल के रंग से सज गई राहें पास आओ मैं पिन्हा दूं चाहत का हार ये खुली खुली बाहें
गर्भवती मतलब पता नहीं चलता, पूछते हैं दीदी कैसे हो क्या हो, कोई छोटी देरानी होती है तो उनसे भी कहते हैं कि आपका मंथली हो रही नहीं हो रही, तो वो बताते हैं दीदी मेरा मंथली रुक गई, मेरे टेस्ट कराना है, तो हम बताते हैं उनको, फिर टीका के लिए जानकारी भी देते हैं, पंजीकरण करने को कहते हैं, फिर पंजीकरण करके उनको टीका भी लगाते हैं, ये भी बताते हैं कि आंगनबाड़ी में जाना है ये कागज, और वहाँ भी बताना उनको भी कहते हैं, क्योंकि उनको THR मिलते हैं,
टेक होम राशन।
हाँ, टेक होम राशन मिलता है, उसके लिए भी जानकारी देते हैं। और
उसका टाइम आता है, डिलीवरी का टाइम आता है, उसे हॉस्पिटल ले जाते हैं और वहाँ हॉस्पिटल में उसको मतलब जो भी सुविधाएं हैं दिलाते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद घर आने के बाद फिर दौरे होते हैं हमारे, जैसे HbNC वाले दौरे होते हैं ये 42 दिन तक के। उसके बाद आप फिर ये जो शिशु आधारित देखभाल है ये फिर बढ़ा दी गई है, तीसरे महीने, छठे महीने, 9 महीने, 12 महीने और 15 महीने में। इस महीने में हमने उनको देखना है, वहाँ दौरे करने हैं और बताना है, जिसमें बच्चों को ध्यान देना है कि बच्चों का शारीरिक विकास सही से हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, बच्चे में कोई कमी तो नहीं है। जैसे कई बार होता है कोई बच्चा, हम सोचते हैं बच्चा सो रहा है ये है ना, कभी बच्चे में सुनने की क्षमता नहीं होती है, कोई देखने की वो नहीं होती है, तो हम बताते हैं उनको बच्चों के आगे, मतलब कभी ऐसे चुटकी बजा के ताली बजा के देखो बच्चा तुम्हारी तरफ देख रहा नहीं देख रहा, तो उसमें सुनने की कोई प्रॉब्लम ऐसी नहीं होगी तो देखेगा, अगर नहीं होगी तो बच्चा सुनने पड़े रहेगा। ऐसे इस चीज के बारे में जानकारी देते हैं। और 6 महीने के उसमें जाते हैं, उसमें कहते हैं कि बच्चों को मतलब 6 महीने तक माँ का ही दूध पिलाना चाहिए बच्चों को, जो बच्चों के लिए जरूरी है।
24 घंटे की ड्यूटी है, अगर दिन कहे तो दिन ही जाना पड़ता है, अगर रात कहे तो रात। हमारे कोई घंटे का कुछ नहीं है ऐसा कि हमें इतने घंटे काम करना है, हमारी 24 घंटे की ड्यूटी है हमारी। जब भी हमें बुलाया जाता है तो हमें जाना पड़ता है।
हम इसी से चीयर्स करके खुश रहते हैं।
ठीक है जी, मेरा इतना ही है। बहुत बढ़िया लगता है, मतलब 2018 से अपने पहाड़ पे हमें यहाँ पर काम करने का मौका मिला है, नहीं तो हमें कहीं बाहर जाना पड़ता था, मतलब शहरों में की तरफ भागना पड़ता था। तो अभी हम गांव में हम खुश हैं।
This dream that I have, which I'm like living now, it couldn't have been possible without the family that I, without of course Lalit's support, because he's my local person here, and Manish, my husband, and Som. 3 of us have actually built this house. Som is a very dear friend of ours. They have been such a source of support and encouragement, and constantly pushing me to kind of go ahead and do this. It wasn't easy for me to take a decision like this, but just feel grateful. You just want to thank them that they've been such a source of support. And you in this camp they were not there, but at some point, if you do get a chance, you should come with me for one of the camps where both of them are there, and then you should see the way the camps unfold themselves.
Since the model is very self-sufficient, and we don't want to kind of create this thing of, oh, let's get some funding and have outside people or hire anybody. We have to do it all ourselves. So Lalit, our local do it all, he has kind of become her assistant primarily. But when we do camps, he's giving out medicines. So it started again randomly. One day she said, "Yaar, tum baith jao, tumko blood pressure to lena aata hai." So when the patients come, rather than everybody crowding around me, you act as the first filter. So it started as just taking names, name, age, checking the blood pressure, and then passing them on. Usse ke baad ye hua that I have diabetes, so I check my own sugar. So she says, "Yaar, ye bhi shuru tum kar do." Ab ye ho gaya ki hum jaise ki when the patients come, I'll ask them, "Acha, what is the problem?" So they'll start. I'll basic symptoms likh dete hain. Then I'll tell them to give up doctor saab se miliye, wait kijiye, managing the crowds, chatting with them. And I tend to be a little reserved, but here I have found that part of my personality changes. I love talking to people who are very real, who don't come with an agenda. They're just people. So it's great fun. The funny part, of course, is that while I am the compounder, and I am the compounder, there is this myth floating around that there is Dr. Saab and then there is a bada doctor. Why? Because there's a male. तो बड़े डॉक्टर साहब हम हैं जो एक्चुअली काम नहीं करते हैं बट वो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. एंड द फनी पार्ट ऑफ दिस इज दैट व्हेन वी वर डूइंग द कोविड कैंप्स देयर वाज अ कैंप इन व्हिच द क्राउड वाज predominantly male, and Nisha was talking and she was giving her piece about understanding the problem, how to deal with it, and people were obviously not, you can tell in a small crowd कि वो attention नहीं catch रहा. So she said, "Manish, you take over and you give the speech. You've heard the speech, you can give the speech." I said, "Sure." And sure enough, I got up and everybody said, "Oh, bade doctor sahab bol rahe." So this is our internal joke that, bade doctor sahab. But, I mean, when you tell people, many of them they just assume this, right? And we're not here to change value systems or beliefs. ठीक है, जो है वो है, that's reality.
A lot of people ask me expansion plans, are you going to be limiting yourself to this? Are you going to be expanding yourself? My response to those people is that I don't know in terms of expansion, like how it would pan out. Expand as in, I would reach out. I would like to reach out to more people. How I would be doing it, I don't know. Right now, maybe we are doing it with 8 ASHA workers. Tomorrow we might have more ASHA workers joining in and we might be doing these health camps and more. But the basic model will remain the same. Outreach through health camps and then the static clinic. Because a lot of patients come to my clinic after a camp also. Because, they want to get drips or whatever, get medicines and stuff like that. So, just feel very blessed and fortunate for having this large family. Now, the Ashas are also part of this family. So, I think something just keeps getting attached to make your dreams. What is that famous saying? I think Paulo Coelho had said, na?
When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
ठीक है जी, और ये आपका, और ये है जी, एक तो हमारे पास सिरप है, ये कैल्शियम की, ये है कैल्शियम, और उसके बाद इधर है खांसी की, ये है दवा, ये खांसी की है. दर्द के लिए हमारे पास 3 किस्म की वो है दवा.